You need to point its face in the right direction. Look and see what you might need. A good deal all around. Now you can deal death from a distance. A crossway. This means you have a choice to make. Which way? Need the right key? That's interesting. This is turning out to be quite an expedition. Bad place to be dizzy. Wheel the control box handles to buzz the wire. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Wired up and ready to go. looks valuable. Are you scared yet? It's getting dark. Ooh-wee, that's biohazard. Locked solid. Cranks like these usually need to be wound to operate the dispenser. Just a few moves left. Make them count. What you see is what you get. Once it's out of the blind box, that is. You flick the switches in order to greenlight the current and activate the electrons in the panel. Good. The loop is electrified enough to spark. Maybe it's later than you think. Hard to tell at night. Glad to see some wood scrap there. With its attention diverted to the chewy bonbon gummy, the Majut calms down. But Noko is still concerned. She's relieved the Majut has calmed down. If she remembers correctly, she spotted it at the Smilo Shopperia while Seems the old world had plenty to offer, an all-in-one place for those obsessed with material things. Almost too much, if you ask her. The Smilo Shopperia. Guess shopping here put a smile on your face. Boxes like this, that's not opening on its own. As the iBox broadcasts, it's hit or miss, but when it does, need a key. Ema tua buona, ea et saga saluto, mapa ole pep salora min. Lenefu, toto, e pasi, nati You never know how long anything's been buried underground. Toto, e pasi, nati sana basura, e vigori Auto fantasi e le fale pappia. Ema tua buona. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Now hold on. Sit tight. Isn't that the mech? You need to loosen the bolts without rattling the mechamajor. That's it. The sit-tight is loose. Time to stop horsing around and get the sit-tight back to Nocco. Ema tua buona, paga, saluto, mapa, ole pepsa loga, Leneku, toto, e pasi. Oh, e-waste, hard to find. All share the same destiny, destruction or survival. Now that the Majut's got a mouthful of bonbon gummy and the brand new sit-tight is in place, the Majut is ready to ride. Nocco's been training another fantabulous little critter that'll hopefully become a distraction for the hoof puff when you confront it. She's called them glitter moths, and the best way to find them is to go talk to Mito. She's asked him to keep them somewhere safe. You'll find Mito at Bright Light. He's a light-headed fellow, but hopefully he'll remember where he stored the moths. He's been able to literally shed some light in the darkness for her over the years, but also because of his cheerful manner. Nocco is always willing to help. Says the Myriad tribe is known for their spiritual light. Nocco is always willing to help. Wouldn't it? Let's see. With the world getting darker by the day, there's not much time left to save it. And even though you've just met, he feels you're bound to play a huge part in that. Figures that doesn't make it any less worth fighting. Hopes. Wonders if you know. So happy you know you're helping brighten the world. There's plenty of it that's still worth saving. Says you did the right thing in taking up with the mirror. Says he can see by the twinkle in your eyes that you're not here to talk about your allies. He assumes you are here to be enlightened. He can't blame you, as everything just feels dark and hopeless these days. He senses you're like the dayfly, living every day like it's your last, afraid that when night comes, it might be proved right. Believes no one is entirely dark. Even the worst have a spark of good in them. Mito says he's not only into those who shine bright, he likes things that glitter too. Finding yourself a glitter moth would give you that glimmer of hope you need to continue all the way to the end. You really do need them alive. Dead glitter moths fade. This story is about a hero. No one likes to fall. Glittermoth Cave is right here. You always find good use for things like that. A story has got to keep moving forward. That's enough glittermoths to make her plan work. She wants you to stop worrying about the paths you've ridden and focus on the inevitable road ahead, the one that leads to confrontation with the World Eater. The hoof puff is evidence of the duality of evolution, utterly beautiful and grotesque at the same time. She means that the hoof puff has had more time to eat at the root as it's been isolated in the Knoopstonies mountains. So, based on that alone, she reckons it has suffered as much damage as the northwest root that's hidden beneath the surf. The rocky ridges have been called the Knoopstonies around here for as long as she can remember. It's said the stone was grey before, but somehow changed colour over time. We're all heroes of our own stories, or so we hope. Who'd leave rubber scrap lying around like that? That sealed the fate of the third World Eater. Just one more to go. Out of Date asked to see you again to congratulate you and let you in on the final phases of his plan. This is your chance to get his priorities aligned with yours. Do right by your tribe and the world at large. Just head back to the Ark. He seemed eager to see you again. She wonders if the rumors she's heard about you finding the Ark are true. Thinks that's impossible, of course, but she also knows you regularly make the impossible happen. With the world recovering, the Ark would be a wonderful way to see it, so much faster than even her favorite Gnotes. Loves that you did your best to help the world rather than hurt it. You could have used much more of that, even before you returned. Any idea?
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the Ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
Why? You don't need...
If you want to go quick...
But you know you...
Feels deeply honored that you'd want her to come with you. An Ark is no Gnote, but she can't pass this up. She's coming aboard. Noko knows she's known for saying things over again. Says goodbye to you. Yerp fields, where the echo of your actions resounds clearer than any other place you'll find, except for where that's not true. It's a glory shiny day out here. Out of Date says there'll be consequences of the war, but there are more pressing matters at hand. He thought someone with your light perspective and key would have had different priorities and faced the World Eaters before resolving the tribe war. Regardless, Out of Date is grateful the tribe war is over. You're the only one that's strong enough to face the last World Eater. The future depends on someone with a light perspective to give the world a chance to survive. Only time will tell what the future holds, and if it will bring a lasting peace for those that make it to the end. Out of Date says the word about what you've done so far is spreading. The tribes haven't lost hope yet. He's unsure about your intentions, but hopes you'll support Wiz. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Wiz and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's hunch is real. The Merc Puff is up next. Out of Date says that Wiz is worried now that the Northwest World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Wiz is working on an undersurf vessel in order to get to the World Eater but needs help to get it done. Out of Date suggests that you should head northwest as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. Find us a sunset to ride into.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next.
Why?
If you want...
But you know you...
So, the Surge Surf Factory. Keep your eye out for Wiz while you're here. Let's see. Wuz isn't easy on the tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Wiz. You might remember him from the old days when he let you try his octopod? Wiz remembers you were such a cheery kid, and he's glad to see that light hasn't faded from you, despite the years. But Wiz understands it was a long time ago, and memories get murkier the deeper you go, but says it helps to have friends with you to plumb those depths. It was a tragedy, but also sad that you chose to leave. It's a miracle you made it on the outside on your own. That land is harsh, they say. Wiz says our memory keeps things for us, preserves them until we are ready to face them again. He knows you've returned to face Lupa Lupin, and that confrontation is as inevitable as the tides. He's not surprised that the loss of your family could plunge you into the depths forever. But you've always been able to rise like a bubble to the surface, no matter what. He knows that though the tides of history may push you in one, ultimately it's your choice. You were the one to be wronged and have lived with the consequences. He believes in consequence as it's a direct result of action.
That's so bright!
Seriously, you like the shine?
You just don't want anyone to get a good look at you.
Dark is stylish.
Lie to yourself all you like, darling.
Asks if you ever think about freedom and whether any of us really has it. Did you make the decisions that brought you here, or are you just a pawn of fate? Glad to hear that. He only wishes he was that sure about himself. Amazed the world is going to continue on, but happy to hear it. Still so many things to invent. Impressed that you fought so hard to keep the world spinning. Thinks you were smart to join with the Myriad. They have a rainbow of ways to approach any problem. Says they're unified in the ways that matter. But that's not nearly as important as this. Wiz says that you should let the past dwell in the depths. But there's something else down there too, gnawing at the Tree of Life. He's named it the Merc Puff. This is why he's tinker-tonkering with the octopod. But the lid got stuck, so he needs a big enough tug twister to open it up and let you a-going. He can't leave the surge station, so you must help him find a tug twister. There's a wound-up mecha fingro in the mecha stadium that still has one stuck on its back. Find it, and you'll find the tug twister. He found it stranded on a shore nearby and got Gizmo to help tow it here so they could get to work on it. Toxanol probably made it to go under surf and see the damage they've caused for themselves. Heroes make for the best stories. It's up to you if you... Toxanol's mining led to mass deforestation and increased global warming, as nature couldn't absorb the carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas emissions without the trees. These irreversible changes to the climate also contributed to the evolution and modified our genetic code. That made it all worth it. You found a bric-brac that's not absolutely flat. Don't want to point a finger, but the Mecha Stadium is near here. Need a key? Just a few moves left. Make them count. You can see so much farther in the light. Ooh, a biohazard like that can make you real sick. What a bonus! You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too. The night feels dangerous and exciting. It always feels like it's about to rain. Look at the notices on that board. No one paid much attention to them, it looks like. Wiz should be around here somewhere, probably taking care of his guppos. The power comes from turning the movement of the... There are sure to be more tracks around here. Maybe by the shore. He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need something slick. He agrees that it's an option if you want to break stuff, but in this case you want to keep things intact so it won't leak once you get under surf. He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he's all out. He knows his old friend Choo-Choo always keeps his grease sprinklers well filled. He should have an extra that you can borrow. He stresses that you should come back as soon as you've Wiz heard he's currently stranded at the end of the line, so it should be easier to track him down now compared to when he's running rails. Let's see. Whoa, smell that? Biohazard nearby. Wheel the control box handles to buzz the wire. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Down the wire. Wheel the control box handles to buzz the wire. Wired up and ready to go. Feels good on you? Nice topper. Better hold on to that. Choo-Choo knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him. Says the name is Choo-Choo, and he likes to ride the rails. Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track, or look for a way to hit that switch? You seem like you're on the right track already. He just hopes you don't get sidetracked onto a darker path. Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be. Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. Likes your sureness, the way you keep at it like a chug-chug with no way to reverse. Seems like the world came out of its rut and is chugging toward higher ground again. Can't thank you enough for hitting the brakes and working to turn the world chug around. But let's not get derailed. He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation. Thinks that's fine, but there's no path in this world that's not been already made. This time, though, he was sidetracked and needs a new wing nut to get back on track. Wing nuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugger-chugger out there. Says he knew you would, like he knows the way the rails run. You need to swivel the globus's bearings. Just a few moves left. Make them count.